Alright, here's the second pipe smoking tip in my series. I know it's been very anticipated by all of the people that follow me on YouTube. But the tip is dry out your tobacco. Now I know this is somewhat of a controversial tip among pipe smokers, but I got through my hours and hours and hours spent researching and reading Pipe 4 online and things like that. I came across the fact that there's this almost constant tip to dry tobacco out to a little bit drier state than it comes fresh in a tin or in a bulk bag. I've recently been rethinking this a little bit though. I decided to post the tip anyway because I think, especially for new smokers, this could be a really good tip. Basically, before you smoke some tobacco, take about a bowl's worth, spread it out on a sheet of paper and put it under a desk lamp. Or some people will say to put it in the microwave, although I don't know if that's the best idea. Others will say to put it on a plate over the top of a lamp and set it on a lampshade so it'll warm up and dry out a little bit. And some people out there really like their tobacco bone dry. Other people like it more on the moist side. And here's the kind of thing that I've come to concerning moisture content. Usually when pipe tobacco is a little on the drier side, it smokes more easily. You're not going to relight as much. And so if you're really having trouble with some of that stuff, perhaps drying your tobacco out is really going to help you. So, you know, there's one thing about it. On the other hand, if something gets aired out too much and it's too dry, you're going to lose some flavor. And I noticed this when I used to smoke cigars more. If I let my humidor get too dry and didn't keep the moisture level up, I could hardly taste the cigars. But when I got them nice and moisturized again, they were delicious. And the same, I think, is true for pipe tobacco. But that's not to say that certain blends may not come a little bit too wet in the container. So you can sort of balance the two, especially if you're a new smoker. You can maybe get a little bit more manageable tobacco while still getting most of the taste out of drying your tobacco a little bit. I've also noticed this particularly with Germain's Royal Jersey with Latakia. It's a mixture that I really like now, but when I first had my first bowl of it, I could hardly taste it. And I believe that's because it was too wet. It was almost steamy. It was a Latakia blend, and supposed to be more of a medium to heavier blend, and I could hardly even taste it at all. But you know, after a little bit of time to dry, the flavors really picked up. So if you've never done it before, perhaps experiment and see where you like your tobacco the most, whether you like it on the dry side or on the moist side. I would caution, however, especially with aged tins, I would caution you not to sort of dry out a whole tin or a whole jar at a time, because according to some work that Pease has done, and he is a genius as far as tobacco goes, you're losing a lot of flavorful, aromatic, volatile chemicals and things that happen from the processes of fermenting and other things that go on when you age a tobacco that are part of what make it so good. And so you don't want to air out too much, and you probably don't want to air it out for too long a period, even when you take a little small batch or a pipe full at a time. But it could be very useful to help you until you get your smoking technique down, and maybe then after that even you might find more flavor from certain blends if they're not quite as wet. So try it out. And today I'm smoking a Bari Don Black Blasted Volcano. It's a pretty neat looking pipe. Got it as part of an estate lot. And I'm smoking some very aged Ironsides, which is a delicious English, very full Latakia flake tobacco. Happy smoking.